Well, we got a weird situation, don't you think? We have a report from FAA regarding the black box of the airplane, the Lufthansa that crashed in Switzerland, in the vicinity of CERN. Um, they said that the black box was pretty distorted, meaning on impact, and the plane was supposedly incinerated, and there was supposed to be something going on of commotion in the cockpit and outside the cockpit, a co-pilot banging on the door, and that should apparently lead to that the airplane crashed to the ground, and we are looking at something that looks like suicide. You know, that one is kind of easy to explain away, right? Because we don't hear the tape, and if we hear the tape, we might as well just listen to a fabricated tape, just like we listen to a lot of fabricated material in the wake of 9/11, where people like this screaming woman saying, oh my god, and she just kept on saying that. I mean, you could hear and sense that it was not authentic. And we also know that the New World New World Order towers or World Trade towers were brought down by demolition. There is no doubt about that. But regarding this airplane, CERN is a giant electromagnet. It is not just a collider, but it's a giant magnet. And when that fires up, we got a lot of disturbance going on inwards towards Earth and outwards out to space. And it would not surprise me that, it is illegal for you passengers to be on your cell phones during takeoff and landings. There are certain periods during flight that you are allowed to open up your phone and take it off airplane mode so you can make a phone call. But during takeoff, you are not allowed to have your phone turned on, or at least it has to be in airplane mode. And are they even checking you're doing that? No, they're not. So when this airplane comes in the vicinity of the frequencies, which is of very high velocity and very high energy during the fire up of CERN, it would not be surprising that the electronics on the airplane got botched, pretty much. They stalled, they freezed, they seized, they rebooted, or whatever happened, and the airplane simply just lost altitude and smacked into a wall of granite in the Alps of Switzerland. It is tragic, but it's also funny that what I'm thinking is that they are announcing that 150 people died on that crash day. Well, I have to, because when I look at these things, I have to use the numbers, because that is what they are operating by. They're not operating by the scriptures. It's about numbers. And 150 happens to be the number 6. And what is the number of the beast, right? That has something to do with 6. And if you look at CERN, it is also a logo of 3 6s. And Tara Williams, one of my longtime subscribers on YouTube here, she announced to me something I did not even know. That is that CERN is actually behind the creation of the World Wide Web. And if you calculate numbers for the meaning of World Wide Web, you get the numbers 666. And 150 people died. That is the number 6. So you already have it down, So I find that hard to believe, that it was some crazed pilot that lost his sense of direction and decided to commit suicide and take 149 other people with him. I don't believe that story, no matter what you say. I don't care what kind of news info you have and where you got your info from. You won't make me believe that this airplane came down because of a suicide pilot. No, I don't believe that. And then we have America again, with the Muslim president in lead, Mr. Obama, giving permission for Vandenberg Air Force Base in California to shoot off an ICBM, Minuteman missile, for a test run. You know, America has done a lot of nuclear testing. They have done the most testing on the planet. With all the nations combined, America has done the most testing. Nevada is a giant radioactive disaster zone after their nuclear weapons arming. And we know that Russia is not happy. I also hear that Russia intends to declare war, at least on the verbal side, if my homeland, Denmark, decides to join up with NATO, which they are already a part of since World War II, that if Denmark is joining up with this missile shield to guard against Russia, Putin will take that as a declaration of war. Well, America has already, with cooperation of George Soros, the multi-billionaire communist pig, taken hold of Ukraine bordering up to Russia. The story about Ukraine and Russia, well, Ukraine was actually once back in time taken over by Russia from one day to another. The Ukrainians has not been happy about that, and they are still not happy about that, but they have chosen to live in peace amongst each other and let past be the past. But if we get the right elements, like Obama has gotten the right elements in cooperation with CIA and his Muslim Brotherhood in the White House, ISIS, well, it doesn't take a lot of money. It just takes a little donation and a little handout of weaponry, and tell these crazed people that are being recruited to this insane, stupid revolt that is going on in Ukraine, which is only designed to provoke Russia to make one false move that gives the excuse for the superpower America to attack Russia and starting World War III. Some say we are already in World War III. I mean, what kind of, or what side of the bed did you sleep on, and what side of the bed did you get out, since you don't understand that World War III is a world war that will snuff out 2.5 billion people. So where is that World War III begun? I haven't heard a damn thing about 2.5 billion people snuffed out because of war. Have you? I think we would have known about that already. I mean, such a large number of losses would not be able to be kept secret by ABC, CNN, and Fox News and all the other ones. No, that kind of news would spread like a forest fire, and it will reach every part of the world that something horrific had taken place. So, spare me, don't even try. World War III has not begun. I estimate that World War III will begin either in the ending of 2016 or the beginning of 2017, because I have to support up against the Daniel timeline, and that timeline is very clear that the tribulation will not begin until 70 weeks after the rebirth of the state of Israel. Israel was unofficially reinstated in 1947, officially on the paper, with signing of papers, 1948. So that is the time frame we're looking at, because 70 weeks in the Jewish calendar is 70 years. And 70 years plus 1947 is 2017. So there you have it, folks. And there's a lot of commotion about if Putin is alive or not. Oh yeah, he's well alive. He's just fine. He just do what he needs to do, because he have a big bully with a Muslim president in the lead, threatening the peace and quietness in Russia, and provoking the Russian economy with all kinds of little stupid moves. That's part of the warfare, but that's a financial and political warfare, and that political warfare has actually gone on ever since the Cold War began. And this idea that after the Berlin Wall fell and Gorbachev was saying that we should seek to find peace, and we should seek to go on the road of communism, a road that we should never get off or refrain from. So he's already there, back at Glasnod's day, telling the world that our world is running down towards a communist regime with a kind of in between some kind of Sharia law exercise. Because if you follow the scriptures and understand one thing, there is no such thing as some white dude is going to be the Antichrist. The scriptures are clear. The Antichrist is coming from the Arab world. End of story. It is said it's coming from there, meaning Turkey, Iran, Iraq, Jordan, Syria, those countries, Saudi Arabia. But the Bible is a little more specific. They're actually saying it's a Turkish dude, and he's a Muslim, and he is supporting Sharia, and mixed with communism. Can you imagine what a horror that's gonna be for humanity, having those two joined together, the religion of peace with the most degrading political system you can possibly imagine, which is communism. And Putin was once a communist, but he found out that this don't serve any purpose once or ever. It don't serve anyone any good. Now he's actually rewarding his citizens for making babies, procreate in his country. He is doing what he can, even though that things are hard. It is difficult, and it's difficult to rise after such a bad reputation as the Soviet Union. But I'm not saying that, oh, Putin is going to be the world president, I want him. No, I'm not saying that he's clean. But at least he's doing an effort compared to the American president, who's doing everything he can to destroy everything that you and your forefathers had worked so hard to achieve. He has destroyed that in 8 years, completely. Unstopped. When is it going to end? It's not going to end. We're going to have a new world order. We're going to have an Antichrist coming from the Arab world who is in favor for Sharia law. And woe to you ladies out there when that comes in place. You will be the property of men. If you complain, you will be stoned to death. How about that? The religion of peace. And we have a guy who is one who supports Sharia law. There's no question about it. He had so many times officially expressed who he believes in, who he is, where he's from, where he pledged his allegiance to. But Americans, I guess, you vast asleep. I'm sorry to hear that. God bless you.